There he is.
What's up, brother?
How are you guys?
How's it been, man?
Oh man, it's been. I'm just all
Indeed.
over the place, you
Yeah.
know. Well,
Are we recording?
I am recording. Hell yeah.
Okay.
So here's the crazy thing. With the pandemic, I've been home, working for like 2+ years, and that means I don't have a commute. So I have to intentionally make myself go, oh, I need to go listen to the podcast. Actually, I like watching the podcast on YouTube now. That's a lot more fun to watch you guys.
Say it how you mean it. You have to force yourself to watch us.
Yes.
First, I get really drunk. Then I call all my exes. then I listen to Trekcast.
Hey, however you have to do it.
Yep.
We know it's a chore. Thank you for doing it. Kind of like watching Discovery.
Oh, come on.
I'm just messing.
I like Discovery.
I see. That's why he hasn't been around for a while. He can't stand me talking about Discovery.
Well, I'm glad somebody does.
We were just talking before Dan got in. We were talking about Chad's article in the National Catholic Register.
What?
What?
Yeah. Apparently, in the National Catholic Register, there was an opinion piece written about Star Trek, specifically Discovery, and almost every bullet point is things Chad has said. So
he thinks I wrote it.
But it was written by somebody named Wad Chaldo. I mean, crazy.
Right. No. So get this. Not even joking. Dude's name is Angelo Stagnaro. Performs as a stage magician and mentalist between Europe and North America. That's who wrote this.
Wow.
So
he's got some
between
chops
Europe
then.
and North, so what? Like in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean?
Right.
That's where all his shows are.
Iceland.
In Iceland.
All of his shows are in Iceland. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all cruise ships.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's probably
That's
it right
funny.
there. It's all cruise ships. He's always on the water.
Just begging people to watch his shows.
Well, since we started the show off like that, why don't we start the show off with an odd intro that you guys can actually hear? Here we are. It's Trekcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trekcast, a most unpredictable affair. A podcast that is highly rated by some, but to others, a steaming heap of festering manure, a garbage scow full to the brim with dead air and nauseating drivel. You may listen, if you wish, as the crew attempt to defend against the facts of Star Trek Discovery's rumored imminent cancellation and the total collapse of CBS All Access.
Which
Oh,
doesn't
man,
exist
it's
anymore.
Some might say
It did
the
collapse.
ruin of our entire civilization. That is entirely a matter for you.
Yeah.
But should you choose to listen, I would ask you to consider
Good lord, this is long.
Oh, it gets good.
that Chad is always wrong.
Is that where we got good? We're talking about
Those
Chad?
who wish
Yeah.
to believe his constant, inaccurate, and insufferable whining, the petty machinations of an embittered man, a humbug,
Alright.
a hypocrite,
It's cutting
a
out.
flea bag, a gibbering imbecile, then you are indeed in good company. And I have only left to say, live long and prosper.
It's,
And may God have mercy upon your soul.
it's still going. It is long.
That's an oldie
very
but
long.
goodie.
If you hear it
Yeah.
clip a little bit on your end, or you hear any of these sound effects clip a little on your end, it's Discord. That is the one thing I haven't gotten through yet, and it's because there's this voice cancellation thing, and it tries to monitor
Yeah.
things not going too
It's
high
fine.
or too low. But it comes out
Yeah.
great on the recording. I can assure you that. But at least you guys can
Okay.
hear the effects now.
Yeah, that's nice.
Mostly.
I said you ought to be nicer to Will Wheaton.
So yeah, it's great.
Oh, Will Wheaton is coming up in our news. So
Very apt. Very apt. So,
indeed.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trekcast, the galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast. I'm Chad. That's Daniel in the middle, and that's Dan on the far right. I'm on the left. Amazing.
Dan.
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong. We're already starting off on an odd foot. But hey, we've got Lumberjack Daryl in the audience with us. We've got. Let me make sure I don't click on that. Dang it.
Trekcast is recorded before a live studio audience.
Yes, it is recorded before a live studio audience. We've got Gentry with us as well. So this is going to be amazing. Our feedback section is going to be great, as you already heard in the opening couple of minutes there, as we were just chit-chatting and bullshitting and getting ready for next week. These two guys still don't have plane tickets.
We didn't
I'm
say
saying-
that in the. Yeah.
I looked. I priced them this morning. I just didn't
Didn't hit the buy
didn't
button.
pull the didn't pull the
Lord,
trigger.
are
Yet.
they still expensive for me, man?
Yeah.
They're still like $850 to $900.
What are you going to do?
Wow.
What are you going to do the day you have to fly out? Just say no?
I mean,
Get in the
I'm
car.
limited by funds. Like that's my issue.
Yeah.
You know, that's my problem. So, I don't know if you've seen the stock market, but isn't even no bueno lately.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, I'm hoping.
Well, let's figure something
You're
out.
coming. You're coming one way or the other.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We will figure it out.
Yep. That's not a problem.
All
Yeah, we will take care of it.
Yep. Money's not an issue. We'll be fine.
That's right. It's the 25th century. We don't have money.
Now, all you need to do is show up and say, I have to be there because these two guys haven't seen me ever in my entire life, and this is a must. And someone will just stick you in a cargo hold. It'll be fine.
Yep.
That's true.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. Just start walking now. I mean,
He's gonna arrive in the back of a pickup truck full of chicken coops, like something out of a movie. I made it, fellas! I made it.
yeah. Like Zach Galifianakis.
Breathing is that?
What?
There we go. I keep hearing breathing.
Oh, I don't know. I muted Daryl and Gentry so that they couldn't.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Daryl is muted. Actually, I don't see the little thing.
He is.
Okay.
He's server muted. Sorry, Gentry. Sorry, Daryl.
Yeah. All right.
You'll come in
What
here in a
was
minute.
that?
I don't know what that was.
What was what? I didn't hear anything.
Yeah,
Entry.
he's not muted. I hear him.
Yeah.
He's unmutable.
Yeah, he's Q.
He is
immutable.
server. He is server muted,
Okay.
and so
All right.
is Lumberjack Daryl. Both
There you
have
go.
red. there we
Now
go.
he is.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Chad just locked the parental locks on the car.
There you go.
The kids can't play.
We'll get you on in a minute, boys. Okay. News. Let's get right into it.
Attention all hands. It's time for Star Trek news.
Okay. So our first news story comes to us from Deadline. There really isn't a lot of news right now, and that's probably because the convention's right around the corner.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What convention?
Oh, the Star Trek convention.
The Star Trek
We're
one.
gonna run the Star Trek one. Yeah.
Yeah.
We wear windbreakers and do laps.
Are we all going to
Great
show
times.
up in matching windbreakers and matching jumpsuits?
I mean, I thought that was the goal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go for it. I'm sorry.
Anyways, so they interviewed Captain Kirk himself, Chris Pine, and it was a big, long interview. A lot of it was just all about his career overall. But they did ask him about, Star Trek because, they've got him. Why not? And he went on to say that he has not read a script. He has met with the director, Matt Shakeman, who's currently the director. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah.
He's also met with the producer, J.J. Abrams, and he says he really likes those people, and and he's met all the new people at Paramount. So I'm guessing Kurtman and all them. And he says everyone's great, everyone's really nice, but he's like, I don't have a script, so I don't know what's going on. He says he really loves doing Star Trek. He thinks it's great. One thing I thought was really, really interesting is he's like, we keep going for these, big budgets and try to make this make Star Trek $1 billion franchise, but he's like, it's never been that. So like they should maybe reduce the size of the budget and go for something that the fans will really love.
Oh,
he's
wow.
like, and if other people
Amazing.
wanted, yeah, it's kind of crazy. He's like, they should do that and not like chase this $1 billion franchise and just let it be what it is and let people enjoy it. And if other people come on board, great. And if not, that's okay. And just do that.
Make a good movie. Yeah, I mean, it's been proven so many times that you can actually make a killer movie for 10 million, 20 million.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, lots of times you can make a killer movie for that and make 10 times, 20 times your money back.
Oh, yeah.
The best Star Trek movie was The Wrath of Khan, which followed the super expensive, gigantic turd, the motion picture.
Mhm.
And it was shot on a shoestring budget, and they just reused shots from the first movie, and it was the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing an echo of myself. I'm not sure how that's happening.
I'm not either.
I don't know.
I'm not hearing
No,
it
I'm
from...
Yeah, I'm not hearing it either, dude.
All right.
Yeah.
As
think,
I was.
It was there and it was gone, so it's okay. It's probably from your end if your Bluetooth and your headset or something, but whatever. We won't worry about it. It's very light.
One of my favorite sci-fi
No
films of all
Bluetooth.
time is called Primer.
Yeah.
Primer's a really good time travel film,
Oh, man, it's
and
good.
it was made for only like $7,000.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
cheapest. It's probably
Yeah.
the cheapest, best movie ever made.
How
Yeah,
much?
it's fantastic.
What was the budget on Daniel Isn't Real?
Oh, who knows? Because it wasn't real.
Ah,
Yeah.
I remember the
All right,
budget
our second
for District 9 was only like 10, 15 million. And
Yeah,
it made 100
probably.
million opening weekend.
Yeah.
That was a killer movie.
Yeah.
So, anyway, okay.
Next news story comes to us from the New York Post, and it is Will. I don't know if you know, but Will Wheaton has got a new book coming out pretty soon.
Yep.
So they were kind of going over his book and all that. And there was an interesting story about Will Wheaton and one Mr. Captain Kirk, Bill Shatner, and how
Yeah.
they did not get along at first.
Grandpa Bill.
And Will was Grandpa was not too kindly. Apparently, Will Wheaton got to go to one of the sets of the movies. I think the fifth movie. I think if I'm remembering right. And he had just gotten the role as Wesley, and Captain Kirk was very mean to him and just was like, "I'd never have a kid on my bridge," and just kind of an overall, prickly sort of character. And apparently, Gene Roddenberry then called Will to his office, and he basically said, "Look, Bill's a jerk, and I'm happy to have you on my show, and don't you ever forget that." And like even like Riker and Worf and Geordi were all like, "Hey, dude, we're happy to have you. Don't worry about it." Like, Worf threatened to kick William Shatner's ass, which is a fight I would love to see.
Yeah.
But apparently, Bill Shatner later wrote an apology note and said that he's happy to have Wesley on board. And to this day, they're still good friends. We'll see. But I just thought it was a funny story.
I said you ought to be nicer to Will Wheaton.
Of course.
Indeed.
Of course.
Indeed. Yeah. Do you guys think Bill Shatner's pretty prickly?
Oh, I bet he can be.
Yeah.
I think he's mellowed in the last 20, 25 years. I think he has kind of realized that, this is my thing. I should just embrace this and start being nicer to the people around me. But he was pretty arrogant back in the day, from what I've heard.
Yep.
Yeah. And like I said, there's not a lot of Star Trek news. So I had to kind of scratch and claw, and I figured I'd find something, especially something that's so exciting, and our audience would love this.
Oh, shit.
And I wanted
boy.
to find this story from Digital Spy. And, we've had some dark times right now, right? the world is in flux, and we might be on the precipice of World War III. But Paddington 3 has an exciting update. So there we go. And, there was some scary news because director Paul King, who had directed Paddington 1 and 2, was set to not direct 3. And that was very sad. I know.
You
What bullshit is
can't
this?
have a Paddington movie without that guy.
Paul King.
Whoever that is.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Right. Paul King. Yes. Yeah. He wrote the scripts and everything, but he just can't keep himself away from the bear. And so while he's still not directing, he has written a draft of Paddington 3. He just couldn't pull himself away. And he's producing it.
Nerd alert! Nerd alert!
We haven't pulled that out in a long time.
You see,
but you
I
deserve
saw-
it for that.
I saw an interview with Paddington himself, and he says, I haven't seen the script, and, I like all the people involved. However, they got to stop trying to make Paddington into a multi-billion-dollar franchise and just do a good movie with a good story.
That's it. That's all it takes.
I heard that Paddington really wants to go back to his art house roots and wants to make a modern day Western with his hat and his marmalade sandwiches. I think he wants it to be called Paddington Out for Justice or yeah. So we'll see.
Oh man, these
Yeah.
Paddington things will just never stop.
No.
It's crazy.
You can't keep a big bear down.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Anyways, that's all my news stories. Yeah.
That's it for the news. We're going to move right into feedback.
Hailing frequencies. Open.
And of course, that means that the hailing frequencies are open, and I have unmuted and unserver muted Gentry and Lumberjack Daryl. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. What's going on?
Thank you.
Morning.
So, any feedback you guys want to give about Trek in general right now, where things are going, the convention next week, our shitty show? What you want to say?
Well, I won't be able to come into the Chicago convention considering I don't have a passport. So,
Ooh, that's too bad.
I just point out that Daryl sounds like he sounds like either Venom or Moon Knight right now. I don't know if you're right up on your mic, but I'm like, man,
I just got a new headset, so I'm still trying to get used to it.
Yeah,
sounds
There you
great.
go.
It
It
does sound
sounds
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
It sounds really good. Yeah.
I'm looking behind me right now to make sure you're not. No, you're not there.
And I'm on a shitty iPhone.
Actually,
Nice.
you sound
Pretty
you
good
sound
too.
like you're doing voiceover for a pharmaceutical commercial right now with that voice.
Well, I'm told I do have a good voice for this stuff. So,
Yeah, you do. Everything been all right
Nope.
with you guys?
Excited about I'm loving Picard. I love having Q back. I'm sorry. I know it's nerdy, but anything involving Q, I'm there. I'm up for it. I actually think with Picard, I know you're going to talk about Picard later, but I think they're doing an excellent job of story development in terms of Q, just because it seems like you can't really predict exactly where they're going with it, and I appreciate that in a story.
Yeah, they've put some mystery into it this season for sure. I do enjoy that. I like this whole. He doesn't have his abilities, but he kind of has his abilities, and he's kind of locked out of certain things, but not sure why. And now he needs some help. That's kind of an interesting twist.
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
definitely, I definitely love the throwback to the last episode, Assignment Earth, one of the the season finale of season 2 of Star Trek.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, anytime they can legitimately tie something back to older Trek, I mean, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
They do a good
A lot
job.
of people a lot of people think it's just fan service, but if it makes sense for the story, then I love when they do that. And I get
And if
annoyed
they
when
can-
and I get annoyed when they don't. When Seven's driving a car, there's no Tom Paris, or excuse me, Nick Locarno reference.
Yeah, when they miss the obvious, right?
I'm waiting for Picard to throw in a reference to hot steaming bananas. Then I think I'll be very happy.
That's funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, over on our coffee account, we've had 2 donations in the last week. One from Strongbeard, and he said, "Send this to Squarespace."
Nice.
Is that? Oh, I know why he's saying that for our website. That's what he means. Is to get
Yeah.
our website back. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do that. We got to do something.
We got to do something there. Yeah. So,
Well, we're gonna have next week is the annual Trekcast shareholders meeting, so it's going to be brought up. That among other things will be discussed.
There's a few things, yeah.
We'll have a lot of things to talk about. Okay,
Yep.
Then the other one is from Eric Woods, and he says, "I gave up on STD, so the Stacey Abrams thing wasn't a big deal to me, but wow, did they hit the ice thing hard this week? Use of parallels be damned. The EP was only missing a fictitious over self-tanning alt-right president to channel the disgust of our fearless time channel." Yeah, that's about all they missed. That's okay. Oh shit.
I mean, those ice things do happen. Like, I've had family members picked up that way.
Yeah.
Like, that's real.
That is, and it's not nice.
Nope.
So,
Well, we'll talk about it during the recap. I have a couple of issues with what they depicted and how the characters reacted, but we could talk about that when we get to it.
I don't have any emails. So as far as the feedback, that's about it.
Let's see.
I would
I
like
did
to make
post
one
in the group.
request if I could.
Oh, sure, Gentry, go ahead.
Could we please have someone video for us when the 3 of you meet? Because I can't believe there's not going to be this giant hug fest that happens. And of course, all of your male egos will go, no, nothing. We shook hands manly and said,
No.
in person. Yeah,
There's
that's
gonna
not
be
happening.
There's going to be some man on man love.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Well,
Just-
I'm driving up there, so I'm going to have my truck, and I'm picking these 2 up at the airport. So each time I go to
Please
the airport to
clip
pick
that,
them
by
up.
the way, that
Yeah.
man on man love. Please just, let's get a clip of that to use later. There's going to be some man on man love.
So I don't know where that was at. That was probably at the 22-minute mark, 21 and a half, somewhere in there to pick out for
Man
Dan.
Love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick it out.
I mean, that might be the show title. Man on Man Love.
Man on man on man.
Man on Man on
Three
Man.
men.
Yeah.
3 men.
3 men.
That's amazing.
Sounds like a 1980 sitcom intro.
It's three men in a podcast.
Indeed.
Hey, before I mute myself one more time, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate that you guys have kept this up. It's a lot of work doing a podcast, and it's a lot of work dedicating yourself every single week to going, yes, even if I phone it in, it's still a lot of work, but you guys do it. A lot of people really appreciate it, and I really want to encourage you guys, please keep it up. It seems like, you look at this show just from a year ago, I really think it's come a long way just in a year. And that's because of your guys' your dedication. So just from a fan point, just wanted to say thanks.
We appreciate
Thank you.
that. Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it in some shows, but we do put effort into it.
Somewhat.
Not me. I literally phone it in. I mean,
Yeah, Dan, we know.
No, you guys do an amazing job.
thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I did post in the
fun.
group that we were recording,
Okay.
and I posted a question of what is the worst flavor of ice cream, and we had some interesting remarks. Some people just took it as a joke, like Taryn said garlic, Daryl said oysters, but Mike Medina said birthday cake is the worst flavor, which I thought was interesting. And Brian said pistachio is the worst.
Okay.
So
Pistachio.
I don't know. Do you guys? Is there? Yeah. What do you guys think is the worst flavor of ice cream?
The worst flavor of ice cream?
Anything with mint on it. I don't want mint in my ice cream.
Yeah, same.
If I want mint, I will get out of here.
Yeah.
If I want mint, I'll chew gum. That's how I
Mint
feel
is for
about mint.
toothpaste and tea. That's it.
Not even tea. I don't even want it in tea.
Oh,
When you're
man.
sick, it's okay.
Oh man.
Mint, like if you store chocolate next to something with mint in it, it will actually seep over and ruin that chocolate. That has happened to me where, there were some chocolates in the same bag as some candy canes and they sat there for a month. Chocolate ruined.
Ugh.
So
No, I don't mind mint
Yeah.
chocolate chip.
so I store candy canes on the opposite side of the house at this point.
I think
As you should.
I think my favorite ice cream is the one that you can only get at certain times of the year, and that's around the holiday, around Christmas, and that's the peppermint ice cream, where it's got the peppermint. I like
Again
that.
with the mint.
Yeah, I like that. Then the worst ice cream would probably be, I mean, I like all ice cream, so there is no such thing as bad ice cream, but I don't like the kind that has like all the shit in it, like the kind where they put gummy bears and hard candy and whatever else. It's like, that's not ice cream. That's a mashup of I don't know what. So
No, that sounds terrible.
it does sound terrible.
I did get an email from Jason, but it's full of Picard Easter eggs.
Oh.
So let's wait till we get to that, and we'll go through them.
We'll put it in the topic. We will put it in the topic. That it on the feedback?
That's it.
Okay, moving to the topic.
Talking about Star Trek in this week's topic. Talking about the Star Trek in this week's topic.
And of course, we're talking about Picard, the latest episode that came out this Thursday. I forget the title of it. I have no idea. I don't know who directed it. I don't know who wrote it. I didn't look at any of the stats on Wikipedia for it. I should have, but I literally just finished watching it this morning, 10 minutes before I hit out everyone, we're going to do a show in 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
that's my life. Anyway.
Was it Leah Thompson again?
I think it was supposed to be, I thought, but I'm not sure.
She didn't direct it. She was in it.
Yeah,
the
she was
episode
in
was
it,
called
yeah.
"Fly Me to the Moon."
Ah, that's right.
So was that her at the sitting at the desk yelling at Data?
Yep, that was
Yeah.
her.
I couldn't tell. I wasn't sure. I thought it was her, but I wasn't sure.
This episode was directed by our favorite Riker, Jonathan Frakes.
Ah,
And he's going to be directing the next one as well.
good.
Okay, cool.
Overall, I thought it was a great episode. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't fast paced. They kind of left. It feels like another setup, maybe. But I kind of enjoyed it. There was, the season so far has got a little mystery to it. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know where they're going to go. It was a nice little twist cliffhanger at the end of the episode. I mean, I can do a quick recap off the top of my head if you want, or if you've got
We're
something.
officially halfway through the season.
We are.
It's only 10 episodes.
Yeah. So, rolling right along. So, quick recap. The crew finally gets back together, where they're all together again. Picard is talking to the Watcher, who is not Laris, but looks like Laris, for apparently no apparent reason. Just happens to be a coincidence. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I don't understand why they didn't use that to their advantage for like a throwaway line. But whatever, they didn't.
They will. They will. Give it time.
Well,
Well, they've already backed themselves into a corner to not. But at any rate,
it's time travel.
yeah,
it's
I mean
time
they
travel.
could say anything, but
They could make it that Laris is this person and was the whole time.
What do they say in WandaVision? She could be a Nexus being.
yeah,
There you go.
There's a Laris in every timeline.
There you go. But anyway, no. So Picard talks to the woman who is not Laris about what's going on with Renee Picard. They find out that that's the focal point, and then of course they see that Q is trying to influence her because he can't snap his fingers anymore to influence her. He's got to do it himself. Then we get to see Song and his daughter.
Kevin said he can't snap his fingers, and the cute blonde won't do what he says.
Yeah, exactly. So now he's got to influence some things a different way, and he basically tricks Song into doing whatever the hell he wants him to do, with giving him a semi cure anyway for his daughter, which is an interesting. That's an interesting little backstory to Song and how he got started and why he was a geneticist and all of those. Why he was trying to do what he was doing, initially for good reasons. As always, the road to hell is led by the path of good intent. I don't know what that saying is. The good intentions always lead to whatever. So isn't that?
So I'm not so sure that's what's going on. I'm not so sure he was just a doctor whose daughter is sick and he's trying to cure her. Because when she asked about her mother, it got real awkward.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I think she is the product of one of his experiments. She is his daughter,
Yeah,
but she is also the product of one of his experiments.
possibly.
Like
Well,
he messed her up, and now he's trying to fix it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's all that could be true because he's not really. He's always been a nefarious character, not a good character. But
Looking at the timeline, Khan is already born. He's already out there.
yeah.
Yeah, he's out and loving every minute of it.
Yeah, that stuff supposedly happened in the 1990s, and he's.
But they are in a different timeline, so.
Yeah, I feel like they're kind of rewriting some of that.
But the divergent point is supposed to be 2024, not
exactly
some point prior to that.
I think they just have to kind of gloss over that a little bit because it gets a little too convoluted. I'm fine with them doing that. That's not that big of a deal.
Then again, if in this timeline Starfleet never exists, then every time that Starfleet has gone back in time doesn't exist, which means it is a completely new timeline, which is why Guinan doesn't recognize Picard. So yeah, throwing my hands in the air.
Yeah, I mean, all of these things could be true at the same time. It could also be, what we refer to as a bubble universe because it's one Q just created. It's just a whole game and a scenario that Q created. So anything can happen. It doesn't have to be part of any specific timeline. It's a bubble that he created that they're now in. And somehow he's got himself stuck in.
We're getting a lot of shots of LA in 2024 and nobody's holding a Starbucks. So this is definitely an alternate timeline.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. I mean,
That's
they're holding Starbucks cups in Game of Thrones. Why? I mean,
right? Exactly. If they've got Starbucks in Middle Earth, and I'm saying that on purpose just to mess with people.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not right.
It's not Middle Earth. It's Eternia.
Yeah,
that's right. You're right. My bad.
So
the Autobots were there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So did we finish the recap?
I don't know if we finished the recap.
Kind
of. We kind of did. It's
We're all
okay.
over the
We all
place.
get it. We all understand. We watch the show, so we're here to listen to our reaction to the show. So if you didn't watch that episode, go watch it. Spoiler alerts. We're about ready to rip it apart. Okay. So, I don't quite understand the supervisors and the watchers. They kind of, the way they've got them set up is they kind of make them sound like what are they called? They're called watchers in the Marvel universe too, aren't they?
Yeah, the Watcher. Yeah,
the Watcher, right? So, like, who are these people and where they come? We don't have any real detailed information about that from previous canon, do we? It's all just kind of a thing that's.
Well, no, they were in. Daryl brought it up earlier that it's a callback to the TOS episode, which I haven't seen that episode in.
Forever.
I can't tell you how long.
Yeah.
So I don't remember much about it.
I know it's in canon, but I don't know how much of it do we know that's in canon. Like, it's a pretty open book, right? We don't really know what race they are. We don't know where they're from. We don't know what level of technology they have. Obviously, very high. But we don't know what their real purpose is, other than just what they say, as far as watching the space-time continuum, I guess. But they don't know about Q. That's an odd.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
That seems a little odd. Well, maybe you could say that the person who's assigned that task doesn't know, but you would think they would have to know in order to be able to protect that person they're assigned to. I mean, you'd still think you'd need a briefing book.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's the.
So
more people are showing up.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
Whoa.
I'll serve mute for just a second, but since we got a lot of people here, we're going to have everybody come back on at some point here and have a nice discussion between everybody. That's great. That's 4. That's
what
amazing.
Is this? We went from man-to-man defense to zone. Zone is never good.
Don't get me started on football. The Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill. I was so mad.
I don't care.
I had to go have a drink. I know you didn't.
He needs to leave. No, it's fine. It'll be good.
I don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
okay.
No,
so
it'll be fine. They'll suck again. It'll be great.
I do. Okay, so the other thing that was going on is Girardi's left alone, which this is really a smart thing to do, is to leave Girardi alone with the Queen. She's already been influenced by her. We've already talked about.
She's gonna become the new queen. So
yeah.
They're like Highlanders. There can only be one. So
Perry left. No, come back. Anyway, yeah, exactly. There can only be one. So, but yeah, I don't know. That was kind of a dumb move. But it's interesting. I mean, we've talked about this before.
The fan theory, right? That Picard or that Girardi's going to be the Borg Queen from the beginning.
Yeah, and as we get at the end of this episode, the nice little oh shit, the queen has literally infected her with nanites. So
Yeah, they're gonna have their own fight club.
she's gonna be fighting the queen the entire time, even though she shot her. So
Right.
that's an interesting little twist. I really like that.
Yeah.
So
Queen is now Tyler Durden. I wonder if they'll keep that up in the future. Like by season 4, is the queen going to be just standing around her, like egging her on to do terrible things?
yeah, just like Gray. Well, maybe not terrible for Gray and what's her name, but kind of like that. She's got an alternate personality in her mind that's always there that she can talk to that nobody else can
God,
see.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's just like that.
They love their fake characters who aren't real.
They do. They do. And the magic blood and the mysteries of the mind and magic blood. Here we are.
Oh God, it's all there.
It's all interconnected. So
yeah.
But no, I mean that was fun. So the whole how does this so explain to me how this tricorder that Raffi's using is an iPhone that's just all powerful now. It can emit an EMP pulse. It can stun people. I mean,
well, no,
it's
the stun was the phaser.
Oh, was it? Okay.
When they
it
stunned
like she held
the
up
bus
the
driver.
tricorder to do it, but
yeah, no,
they've done stuff like that before. They've just set up tricorders and like set it to explode and things like that.
Yeah, and hook up Geordie's visor to the tricorder.
This is true.
MacGuffin the MacGuffin, and
But they would talk about it, right? They would talk about it as far as how to do it.
Yeah, but now they don't waste their time talking about it.
They
just
waste
do
their time
it.
talking about it. They just do it. So that's okay.
So I have a little bit of a problem with that scene where they take out the bus.
Yeah.
You know, they were real careful to mention butterflies, and we can't leave any butterflies. And then they're just traipsing around the county, just leaving butterflies everywhere.
Oh yeah.
When it suits them. And you know, like major things, you have people that are being detained by the government and being taken to a holding facility for whatever reason. I don't want to get into the political discussion of whether it's right or wrong what they're doing. I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're being seen by a lot of people who shouldn't see them.
Well, that, and they're also altering the path of those people's lives.
Right.
They set those people free. Everyone on that bus got set free.
Yep.
When the reality is, if Captain Picard was in Nazi Germany at Auschwitz, they would not free the people there because they know that this is a historical event that needs to play out.
Or they would at least have a discussion about it.
They would have a discussion about it, and they would feel shitty about it in the end. But in the end, they would say, you know, no, the Allies are mounting an attack, and in 3 months they're going to liberate this place, and a lot of people are going to survive. But these people are not meant to live, and it's unfortunate. But this is the way our history plays out, and if we alter that, we could irreparably damage the timeline. That's the discussion that should have happened.
So I think I have an answer for you. It's not a good answer, but I think this is how they justify it in their heads, right? They would say the whole point of the episode or the season is that they're supposed to change the timeline. So the fact that they're doing these things ultimately doesn't matter because they're going to end up resetting this timeline and fixing the problem. The issue with that is, well, then why didn't they just beam Rios out of the bus? Because it doesn't matter if these people see him teleport or not. Right.
Well, Well, they had to stop the bus. The bus is moving. That was the issue. It was the same thing with the car the week before.
Right.
But they EMP pulsed the bus, so now it wasn't moving. Then they could beam them out, and off you go.
Yeah.
They've put a lot of they set a lot of traps for themselves, and they're not maneuvering the traps very well.
No, they're not. They're not.
Yeah.
But that's I mean
that's anything, right? Like you could pick apart a Marvel movie pretty easily. Like
that's the thing.
Apparently, Morbius is terrible, and it's for a lot of these reasons.
Right. So I mean, and it is what it is. But at least with this season, the writing is good. The characters are good. I'm not They're not annoying. They're not doing dumb things for the sake of just doing something. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I actually, again, I have no complaints about Raffi. She needs to pull her shit together again and be who she was at the start of this season. And I think she's
out of her mind. She's seeing
is.
people.
She's
out of her
She's
mind.
literally seeing people. But you know, that's good. That's part of the show. That's Eric Wood dropped in on us too, and then I server muted him. He dropped off. So we're just getting everybody in here today. So
what's interesting is when Picard and his crew talk about their feelings, it's to go along with action, and that's why I think like it's okay.
Yeah.
Whereas what we've seen with Disco, it doesn't do that. I'm pretty sure we pointed that out before.
Yeah, I mean it's the whole show me don't tell me don't, you know, the whole show and don't tell kind of thing. But they do talk about it in Picard, but they're doing it while they're actually doing the things. Like the plot doesn't stop, the action doesn't stop, the storyline doesn't stop just to go over those emotions or those feelings or whatever is complicating things. They keep moving while they're talking about those things, which is the whole point of a plot. It has to keep moving. So but yeah, I mean, and they're going to step on things here and there just so that they can have those moments, which specifically was Raffi thinking she saw Elnor, right? I mean, to get to the whole point of she's not herself. And if you don't have that moment where they stop the bus and go get everybody off, you don't have that moment. Now, why Rios had to have a high five moment with his buddy, that guy could have been a murderer. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have been a member of what is that?
MS-13.
MS-13. I mean, maybe not, but I mean, I'm not saying that because he's
not
Hispanic.
in a free clinic, probably not. But
well, I mean, you never know. Could have gotten stabbed. That's the point. Is you don't know. You know, the point is you don't know, and so that part is just kind of.
They're going to reset the timeline, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. So none of this. So the whole butterfly effect thing, even though they talk about it, none of it matters. It doesn't matter.
The problem, right?
Yeah.
They didn't set the rules very well. Yeah. So then,
Well, I think I don't know. From my standpoint,
they set the rules. They just then broke them.
Yeah. And it's because
sometimes you got to cross the streams.
Sometimes you got to cross the streams, and I think part of that is because even Q, his boundaries that he set, are now broke. So he can't control it anymore.
Yeah, I really want to talk about Q.
Yeah.
The entire episode, we've gotten the impression that Q is working against them. Right? That's how it's written. That's the impression we're supposed to get.
Yeah.
But the thing about it to me, he sent them over there. Right? He put him in that position.
Yep.
So my thought is he's actually working with them and they don't realize it. And Q himself knows that they're not going to trust him, so he can't directly say, hey, I'm working with you, you know? So I think whatever he's trying to do is probably for the benefit and they don't realize it yet. And I think they're going to foul up his plans, and that's going to be like, because they don't trust him right away, it's going to get worse, and then it's going to get better. And we have just enough episodes to make that happen.
It could be that Renee is not supposed to go. They think she is, but she's not.
So here's a question. So, I mean, Q can obviously travel through time. He can change the timeline. Is he linear? Is he a linear being? Does he have? This is tough to articulate.
I'm hearing the Cisco in my head when you say that.
The Cisco. Well, what I mean is, okay, Q from his own point of view, he has a today, he has a yesterday, and he has a tomorrow. Okay, so my question is, can Q decide that what he did yesterday was a mistake and go back and change his own actions? We know that he can change the actions of other people, but can he go back and change his own actions?
Didn't like in TNG, didn't they travel at one point with Q like to the beginning of the universe? Like they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Q has always been able, like, it doesn't matter. Time is just another thing that he jumps around in.
What I mean is, okay, let me okay.
Yes, he can undo things he's done.
So it's the 25th century. Can
Yeah.
Q in the 25th century go back to Encounter at Farpoint and change what he himself did in 1987, or is he powerless to change himself? What I'm saying is it that Q has lost his powers, or is that Q can't change something that he already did, so he needs to put someone else there to do it? So he's steering Picard and crew
To change the thing because he
to
can't do
change
it.
the thing because he can't
Yeah,
do it
maybe.
himself, because a Q can't unqueue a Q.
That's great. That's great.
Maybe.
Yeah, I like that idea. I doubt they've even thought about that.
So we're seeing Q, but we might be seeing him from two different time frames. We might
Right.
the Q that's talking to Renee Picard could be past Q, and
okay.
Yeah,
and
now I see
Q,
where you're going with
Q
it.
who
Yeah.
can't snap his fingers can't change what that Q, him of the past, has already done.
Right.
So he brings, you know what? I'm gonna use my oldest friend, Jean-Luc Picard. Who can I trust? Jean-Luc Picard. Because there's always been this
It's like
There
a
was-
respect.
yeah, there's always been this relationship between them where, Q,
Yeah.
believe it or not, has a deep respect for Captain Picard.
Yeah.
And he's a dick about it, but he wants what's best for him and humanity. So that's my theory. That's what I think.
That's a
might
really
be-
good
might be
theory.
going
I
on.
like that. I like that. Yeah, shoot. That would be a very cool twist if there's two Qs and they're like there's older Q and younger Q and they're fighting as to set the timeline. So that would be cool. Hopefully.
We'll see.
Yeah.
That's a good theory. I like it. I've always been of the mind, though, that Q can change things that he's done, and he can undo things that he's done, and he does it by not necessarily undoing what he did. But let's say from Q's perspective, he walks to the fridge and he gets a glass of milk and he container, pours it, drinks it, and it tastes like shit, and he gets sick. Okay, so he can actually go back and decide not to grab that carton of milk and instead have orange juice and not get sick. But when he does that, he's not in the same timeline. Because every time you change something, you're in a completely different timeline. You change one little thing, you're not in the same timeline. So to him, it doesn't matter because it's the only timeline that matters is the one he's currently in at that moment. Period. So, I mean, all of these things, if you look at it from that standpoint, all of these things happen spontaneously all the time in an infinite number, in an infinite combination. So,
But
for
I'm
the
thinking
terms
about
of the
like
story,
other
though, well, yeah, I mean, other Qs can undo what other Qs have undone. We've already seen
Yeah,
them
that's
do
what I was
that.
going to say because like
Yeah,
they would cancel each other out
yeah,
constantly.
we've already seen that. That's
Yeah.
and we've seen what a Q war looks like.
Yeah.
So it looks like
Looks like a
18th
civil
century
war.
British soldiers. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyway, but now from the standpoint though, that's complicated when you say it like that. But from the standpoint of the story, it would make sense that there's some sort of an issue there, and he's actually having to work a different angle to fix the problem he created. I like that. I like that a lot. That's actually good writing. So once again, Viacom CBS, you need to give Trekcast a call, 816-287-0448. Leave us a voicemail. We'll get back with you. Our agents will talk to your agents. Our people will do lunch, and we'll talk to you how to get the shows back on track with good writing.
Do you think we will see either the girl Q, his I guess wife
Yeah.
that we've seen before, or his kid?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It'd be interesting. I don't know. So far, I don't see any reason why they would do that. I don't see anything in the storyline that would mean that they need it other than her coming in or him coming in to clean up his mess.
Yeah.
So he's trying to do it himself before someone else in the queue continuum figures it out, which, that's a complicated thing too, but whatever. So, no, I like that. I like that a lot. That's good. That actually sets up some very interesting. That could set up some very interesting things happening in the last half of the season, with and the reason that and I guess I would say the reason that Q wouldn't be telling them and wouldn't be saying anything to them is because he needs Picard to be Picard. He already anticipates what Picard's going to do. he kind of already knows what Picard's going to do, so he has to let Picard do his thing in order for his side of the equation to match. Right? Yeah. The two together wouldn't work because then Picard wouldn't trust him, wouldn't do what he was already going to do. But since he already knows what Picard's going to do, he can go and do his other half of that puzzle to make these two things come together. That's good. I like that.
We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
it's good. It's a good season. Really enjoying it, having a lot of fun.
Can I just point out what a badass Girardi is? Where she's just like, stop what you're doing or I'm going to blast you right through the neck. And then she does it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we had that when we watched the trailer last week. It was called, where'd she get a shotgun? Well, she's on the chateau. That was easy. That's where she got the shotgun. So she really is. I like her character a lot. She's everything that Tilly is and more from Disco. You know, she's that wisecracking, funny, little silly, little zany character, but at the same time, they don't put her character down for those attributes. Those attributes are just part of what makes her as a whole character, and she's fantastic. I love her. She's amazing. So
yeah,
good stuff.
Do you think Girardi sticks around past this season?
God, I hope so.
Or are we seen?
It depends. It depends on how they close out this season. Is she the Borg Queen, and does she remain the Borg Queen, or is she the Borg Queen and by some action negate most of what happened throughout the season, and she walks out of the other end as a regular person again? Then she'll probably stick around. But having her, traipsing around the galaxy with them as the Borg Queen, I don't think that's... They have one Borg lady on the show.
Yeah.
To have two just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
She could still be a hybrid, half, she could just be herself but not be the Borg Queen. She could still be a little bit of a hybrid, kind of the way that, Seven's not really a hybrid, but she said most of her things removed. But
it also depends. Is Seven at the end of the season, is Seven still a Borg or is Seven a human?
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have any of her Borg stuff going on right now because of this timey-wimey. And, we also know that...
timey-wimey.
Timey-wimey. But,
that's
if
Doctor Who right there.
if Q is in a gift-giving mood on his way out the door at the end of the episode, Elnor comes back, Seven gets her humanity, finally. I mean, we don't know.
And Agnes is the Borg Queen, yeah.
And Agnes isn't the Borg Queen, and Picard gets a regular flesh and blood body again.
Right.
I don't know. What does Rios?
I would love if Agnes is still like part Borg Queen. It just has like little snide comments to Seven all the time, like "respect your queen" or "you call me your highness." Like that could be a fun dynamic just to do it.
Uh-huh.
Or Raffi's like, "Hey, tell Seven to take me out to dinner." All right, your queen commands you to.
It'd be funny if they were just throwaway lines as jokes because they don't really know.
Yeah,
and then she just uses it to her advantage every once in a while to throw people off because she is that kind of person who can do that sometimes.
Right.
Just throw them one
line.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
That would be amazing. That would be
Yeah.
CBS Viacom needs to.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Here's my problem though with the Borg Queen thing, right? So she lures that officer into the ship and kills him like it was nothing, right?
Well,
why didn't she do that to the?
She didn't kill him.
She didn't kill him. She was
alive.
holding him hostage. She was trying to get to persuade Agnes.
But she had
to do
the ability to reach out and grab him or do whatever.
Yeah.
Like why didn't she do that to the Picard crew at any point in time?
I would say she probably wasn't able to up until that point because she's still kind of in a state of repair, she's not fully equipped. I mean, I could see that all kinds of reasons for that. Now, why she didn't just go ahead and assimilate that guy and make him a Borg drone to go after Agnes, I don't understand that.
Too.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
So, because she could have done that and then just had Agnes shoot the Borg drone or had the Borg drone try to infect her.
Make Borg drones.
Yeah, go make a whole bunch of them.
That's the thing. From her point of view, her goal should be to begin assimilating as many people as possible and just assimilate Earth in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Basically like they were trying to do
in First Contact.
First Contact.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, then again, maybe she's not Borg. She's the Borg Queen, so she doesn't have the same agenda as a drone does. A drone has an agenda of moving forward, assimilating, repairing, and doing what the Borg Queen tells them to do. The Borg Queen always has a slightly different agenda above what a drone does because she's the one telling drones what to do, right? I mean, she's always a little... Anytime we've seen the Queen, she's always been just a little off of what we expect for Borg, right? She's always had a personality.
Right.
She's always had her own wants and wishes. And so from that standpoint, maybe from where she is in her advantage, she does not want to be there. She would rather be back to where she was, a la on the giant ship that came in on Picard and everybody at the beginning of the season. I don't know. Maybe that's what she wants. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
So let me ask this question. Are we going to get definitive answers by the end of the season, or are we going to get a cliffhanger, which brings us into season 3, because they did shoot season 3 back-to-back with season 2?
I'm thinking they're going to do a cliffhanger because
Yep.
classic Trek, and I don't mean TOS when I say classic Trek, because
TNG.
we're at the point now where TNG era is classic Trek.
Yeah.
Classic
Right.
Trek was always cliffhangers between seasons.
Right.
So especially knowing that the next one is the last season, I think that's exactly what we're going to get. I don't know what century we're going to leave off in.
Yeah.
Right,
but
right.
We're going to get some sort of cliffhanger.
That's
Well,
what I
we'll-
think as well.
We'll leave off where Picard is sitting on some sort of council chamber with other members of the Watcher group, and they're all looking down on Doctor Strange, and he's saying, "I think we should tell them the truth." That's where this season's going to end.
Or Picard is the cutest again.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Could be.
Why not?
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Either way.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on? I mean, we went through that pretty quick. Not too bad. Hour. We good with that episode? A couple things we should talk about after this, though. But
I think so. You had a list of Easter eggs?
Yeah. So, let me pull this up. Jason Cooper emailed in, and he had some Easter eggs. His first one was, of course, the Q phone number. Which
should we
Oh,
call that
Gentry,
phone number right in here on the show?
did you call it?
No, you should be able to hear it. What's the phone number? It's was it 1-312?
Hold on, I posted it in the group. I gotta find it.
Because you should be able to hear the phone, just like you hear the sound effects. That's on my phone, so I should be able to dial it and go.
The number is 323.
Oh, 323.
323 634 5667. You calling it?
Hello, you have reached the Q Continuum. We are unable to get to the phone right now because we are busy living in a plane of existence your feeble mortal minds cannot possibly comprehend. Furthermore, it's pointless to leave a message because we, of course, already knew that you would call, and we simply do not care. Have a nice day.
Oh God, that's better than Miss Cleo.
That's so good.
I'm gonna make that my my voicemail greeting.
That sounds perfect.
That's pretty good.
Jason's other Easter egg was that Leah Thompson was one of the scientists that pulled Sung's license, and one of the other scientists, the one on her left, was named Rozhenko, as in Worf's parents.
Really?
I didn't
I didn't
that.
catch that,
Ah,
so
very
that's
good.
pretty cool.
That is cool.
All right. They're supposed to be in Russia though, but okay.
Whatever. Yeah.
That's
For
cool.
the Easter egg, it's fine.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm still me.
Yeah,
me.
I get it. I get it.
I like that. That's good.
I mean, I would have liked it if they put like Sanchez, as in Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah.
Like, that was the other doctor. That would have been funny. Yeah. Do we think we'll see the Doctor, the EMH? Because remember, way back when, Robert Picardo said that he was going to be in this.
As
we
a
never heard a thing afterwards.
as an ancestor or something. Yeah.
Something.
A fellow scientist that he has to go and get to help.
Dr. Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Dr. Zimmerman's grandfather.
Yeah, something like that.
God,
yeah.
if they had him and Phlox and maybe a couple others, like just all standing in the room. Bashir,
Yeah,
they're all everybody's own grandpa.
that'd be cool. I'd be okay with it. I like that would be worth it just for the hell of it, having those cameos. I mean,
Although I do remember we did that story of that Phlox is like, no, I'm not going to go audition.
yeah,
They know
we
what I
did,
can
yeah,
do.
yeah.
You know who they need to have?
Who?
They need to have the guy from Star Trek 4 who Scotty gave him the formula for transparent aluminum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to show that guy, and he's just a baller. You know, he's just got like a gigantic house and cars and money, and
he's like Biff.
Yeah.
yeah.
Turn him into a Biff.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, that's awesome. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Any other Easter eggs?
No, that was it. That was it.
Okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so
Yeah.
let's switch gears real quick and talk about Chicago on air, right? As in like time frames. Doing a live show. This entire studio that I do all of this on is going to be boxed up with me on Monday afternoon. I go to Chicago Tuesday, driving up, so I'll have the entire studio to do a live show. All three of us together, 3 mics, mixer, the whole 9 yards. We need listeners to join us for that. I have no idea how we're going to do it. I have no idea where we're going to do it. But we should start talking about that since it's 5 days away, 6 days away.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about it. We'll make a plan and then we'll put it somewhere.
Put it on Facebook or places.
Yeah. We'll notate it.
Okay.
Where are you staying, Chad?
I don't know. I know I'm going to be staying in 2 different places. I'm going to be because I'm going up there for work. I've got meetings on Tuesday afternoon. I've got meetings all day Wednesday, and I've got one on Thursday, and then pretty sure I'm taking Friday off. But Thursday might wind up only being a half day anyway. So it really just kind of depends.
So if everything works out, the earliest I can get out there is Friday. So I can just do the long weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. And I drive back on Sunday. Well, I might make that a Monday, but for right now it looks like I'm driving. Well, no, I can't. I have to drive back on a Sunday because I fly out on Tuesday. So
So it sounds like
I took off Monday and Friday.
Okay.
So I'm anticipating that those are my travel days.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Chad, I've never been to Chicago. I don't know anything about Chicago.
Okay.
So I'm going to trust you to just pick a hotel that's not going to break the bank. And wherever you're staying, let me know, and I'm going to get a room in the same hotel.
Okay.
It just seems to make sense.
I'll look it up today.
That'll probably be the best.
I'll look it up today and I'll send it to you guys.
Okay.
I did see that Groupon's got a lot of good rates for Chicago hotels.
Okay.
That wasn't like on like Kayak or anything like that. So
well, I'll be at a Marriott somewhere because I have points and it'll be free.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
like I said, whatever
but it won't be crazy. It won't be crazy. So
whatever you choose, it's fine.
Okay.
And if you can get a discount booking 3 at the same time, that's fine too. I'll take care of you when it's time.
Okay, easy enough. Easy enough. Yeah, because I should have. Yeah, I might do it. I might actually do it that way. Then I'll talk to you guys about it. But if I find one, I'm gonna just book all 3 of them for us for that way and do it that way because that would be cheaper for you because I have a significant discount. So.
Oh, jeez.
Good.
Okay. Yeah.
Sounds great. Yeah. Sounds good.
Do we all fit in your truck, or do we need to get
one?
No,
can
we
you
all
get
fit
one
in the
with?
truck.
Can you get one with bunk beds?
Yes. There are certain Marriotts that do have studios that have 3 beds. We could all stay in the same room. I don't care.
I need my space when I travel.
Indeed.
I got you. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But no, the
I
truck
doubt you want to hear my Victorian chants as I do my yoga in the morning.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
God.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. But I like that chat for a minute. It was just like, does he really do?
But this is what's going to be so great about this. We're going to have to record some of our conversations and what we're doing, and obviously when we first meet and all of that, because this is huge. To me, this is a big thing, right? It's been 4 years coming.
Dude, Dan, Chad's gonna have to record us as we go toy hunting.
That's fine.
He's gonna have to stand there. Yeah,
I'll be bored as fuck, but that's fine.
I'm gonna look up some. destinations.
There's some great toy stores over there. Yeah.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I'll make sure I'm drinking beer while we're doing it.
I'm in a few groups. I'm gonna make some inquiries in some of my groups. See
And
what
then,
people think.
Chad, we got to record Dan eating Chicago pizza and admitting how great it is.
Yes. I know exactly where we're gonna go for the deep dish.
Oh,
the giant pie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And isn't there like a crazy hot dog out there or something that has like a pickle in it or something?
There's a hot dog stand where they insult you. Like that's the whole point.
I don't need that.
You're like, I live in New York. I don't need to go there.
Yeah. I live in my house. I don't need that.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
There's
cool.
a few.
We'll get going on that, and then since we have so many people over in the live audience, real quick, we'll just unmute a few of them since some of them haven't been able to talk. I know Perry came and went. I know Eric Wood came and went. I've now unmuted everybody. So, Jazz Biz, that's your name on. I don't.
You got it right.
I got it right. I recognize the name, man, but I
Yeah.
What's up, Chaz Biz?
Old name. Hello.
Thanks for coming on and being here. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Are you heading to Chicago next week or?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
My wife's going to Aruba, so it's Aruba or Chicago. So
that's a hard choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding.
Especially with 2 years worth of COVID and travel and all that. Yeah, Aruba sounds nice.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Out of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good for you, man. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Any feedback you want to share from the Picard or the show or anything else while you're on, Chaz?
Paddington 3, are you excited?
I'm excited for Strange New Worlds. Picard's, I don't know. I'm kind of iffy with Picard right now. So
yeah.
It's, I'm hoping it, goes up or something.
So with
butterflies,
these,
you could say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready for Q to show up and do some Q stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I know they've kind of limited his powers this season, so
yeah.
Maybe Guinan will stab him in the hand again or something. So
with the clips that they've
like
been putting out, what have you thought about the clips they've been putting out to kind of introduce the crew as far as Strange New Worlds go? They've put a bunch of them out on YouTube.
I'm trying to avoid the spoilers on there, but I saw one with what's her name? Rebecca Romaine.
Una. Number
Una.
one.
Yeah. I saw her little clip the other day, and it looked really good.
Yeah. They've got one for almost everybody on the bridge at this point.
Yeah, I just saw the Pike one.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I'm curious what the new Kirk's going to be like too. So.
Yeah, that was an interesting throw out that they did. They should have just been quiet about that.
Yeah, because I thought it was just going to be like Spock and Una and kind of the old crew.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to have Kirk, right now.
And
maybe Kirk
right
later
now.
on in the series. So.
Yeah,
And
maybe
so
they'll
I
just
was
wind up
wondering.
rebooting everything. We'll see.
It sounds like that's what they're doing eventually.
Yeah.
In a way, it's like I hope they don't reboot Deep Space Nine because that's like my favorite series right now.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah. No,
It's gonna happen.
No, leave it alone.
Please no.
Yes, please
Leave it alone.
And
If you want to show us what some of those characters are doing now,
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But going back and
No.
and redoing it, no.
I can't wait for Jonathan Majors to play the Cisco. And
Oh boy.
he actually would be pretty good, actually.
I know if you recasted it, it would be completely different. And then
Oh,
plus
yeah,
if they
for sure.
rebooted it, you got the characters that are dead now, and what do you do with Odo and Nog?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
watching
it's
the
tough.
documentary because they kind of mentioned that Nog kind of comes back and then he's
Yep.
a captain and then bam, he dies, and then they all get back together when they did that kind of storyboard.
Yeah.
That was one hell of a documentary. I really enjoyed
Oh,
that
it was good.
documentary. Yeah.
That was
They're currently shooting a Voyager one. Same group
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shot that one. So
good.
It's
That
the
should be
first
good.
movie I've ever watched by myself, and I felt so awkward. So, because he had all the other Star Trek fans, but nobody talked to each other afterwards. They all looked at each other. And,
Well, they're all
ran off.
socially awkward. I mean, it's Star Trek fans. They're all socially awkward.
I
And
don't know
then
about that. I've never met
No,
anybody I
just
couldn't
kidding.
talk to. It'll be fine. Wait until you see me at the
So everybody
convention.
kind of looked at each other and like, "Do I talk to you? I don't know. Let's go."
Exactly.
All right. Well, cool.
All right.
Anything else, gentlemen?
Cool.
While we're here, I think we're good. That's a wrap. A good show.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I did have one quick thing, if it's okay.
Sure. Go for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go for
God, this guy again.
So, first thing is on Dan's theory with Q. I think the writers who are listening to today's show are right now kicking themselves for not having thought of 2 Qs.
Yeah.
You're probably taking notes just as we speak.
Yeah, they don't listen to this show.
it.
That much is apparent.
Second, listeners, go ahead and check your Trekcast bingo cards. You should have the following spaces marked off. We have, of course, Paddington, the sports reference with the Kansas City Chiefs from Chad, a Discovery diss from Dan. We have the Rick and Morty reference from Daniel. We have a free space, which I propose we rename Man on Man on Man Love. We have the other movie references where you have to cross the streams, Doctor Strange and Back to the Future with Biff. And Magic Blood was also, of course, mentioned. Now, unfortunately, there was no food or political reference made today, so
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
What about the mean hot dog?
Yeah.
In the
We
shitty
talked about
hot
Chicago
dog.
pizza.
Chicago
Discount.
pizza. Yeah.
All right. I think that's it. All right. Well, that's a bingo. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate
There you
it.
go. Yeah.
We do need to bring.
Missed you, Gentry. I missed you.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. We do need to do a bingo thing with that kind of stuff. Put out a card and all that, and then have prizes for people who get it. That would be fantastic.
We should come up with it when we're all together. We'll just come up with one.
We'll come up with it. Yeah. I've been doing Jeopardy style stuff on the other thing, and we've had prizes for it, and that's been fantastic. I've had so much fun.
Are you
making
using
Jeopardy
that
so-
that website?
Yep, I'm using the Jeopardy Labs thing, so I've got it down pat. I know how to do it. I kind of have a good frame of mind when I'm doing it. So when we do another one for ours, what I'd like to do is 3 rounds: round 1, round 2, round 3. The winners of each one of those rounds, because there's 3 people in each round, goes to play in the championship round. So we actually have 4. So
Okay.
Wow.
I think that'd be fun to do. Maybe we do it when we get to a point where there's not a new show every week, a new episode of Trek every week.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, but then we can have all kinds of reference. I mean, man, you just got so much there, so much content to pull from for references. It's good. So
Yeah.
yeah. Shit, we can
Hey,
almost do one
quick
live.
question. You guys enjoying WrestleMania?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, we got night 2 tonight. That's exciting. We'll see what happens between Brock and Roman. I'm pulling for Brock,
Oh,
so we'll
God.
see.
Roman, the tribal chief. Come on.
You got to acknowledge him.
I can hear people unsubscribing from our YouTube channel.
Oh,
as we
no.
speak.
No. If they've already unsubscribed with all the political rants.
That's true.
Yeah.
I lost half our
Yeah,
audience
that's
last
true.
year. That's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. They know what's up with me.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Well,
thanks for coming.
listening, everybody.
Yep. Again, it's Trekcast. Give us a phone call, 816-287-0448. Leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on the phone right on the next show, which, of course, obviously works. You just heard our calling cue, so that was awesome. Make sure to go to the Instagram, Trekcast TNG. Make sure you go to Google. Daniel, did I say that wrong and you just laughed or what?
No. I clicked on something and Michael Che's picture came up. From SNL.
Yeah.
And I just thought, you know what? He would be a great Cisco because that would just be hilarious.
Oh,
His
yeah.
snide comments,
Yeah.
just being an asshole the entire time.
That would be good.
Yeah.
And, of course, the Trekcast TNG, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all over the place where you can find us. And let's make sure we put up the Discord link over the course of this week on our social media if we can so that people can get onto the Discord because, of course, next week when we're at the convention, some way, somehow, we're going to do a live show, and we want you there in the Discord with us like you were today. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a round table with everybody. and just bullshit for a while. Who knows? We'll have plenty of time because we'll be there together. So
Sounds good.
yeah.
Right.
All right, guys. That's it. We will see you in a week.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, another episode in the can. Check us out at Trekcast.com. Also, if you would, please subscribe to us via iTunes. Leave those reviews, subscribe to us, we get some numbers, get up the list, get more listeners, do more shows, have more fun. But for now, we're all done. So live long and prosper, and we'll see you next week.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.